What's good? It's your boy Fanon. Welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And thank you to everybody that attends the live streams, supports the live stream, supports the channel by watching the videos. We know we put ads in the videos. It's how we raise revenue for the channel. So thank you very much. Thank you to everybody that supports on Venmo, Patreon, and the Super Chats. And also want to remind people that we're going to do a Super Chat challenge when 78 Sports TV gets back on his channel. Today, I'm going to talk about the funniest dude in the heavyweight division. And that is not comedy funny, but just to me, the guy's an enigma. That is Dillain. That's Dillain Whyte. Now, Dillain Whyte shows you the strength of an influential promoter, because Dillain Whyte's name stays in the press. He stays relevant despite the fact that, look inside the ring, to me, he looks like a good fighter, but far from a great one. I don't believe that he's ever held a title. Matter of fact, I know he's never held a title, a major championship belt. He does things like duck out of a Luis Ortiz fight, but still gets to claim that he's the guy that was being avoided. So he, of course, goes, enjoys the matchroom fold of acting as if this Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury fight's not going to happen. And I don't know if you would call that sneak dissing. No, that's a direct one. Trying to cast doubt on whether this fight's going to happen or not. And to me, Dillain Whyte is somebody that is, I hate to use a phrase that has been used recently, like by Eddie Hearn and latched on to by many an Eddie Hearn supporter, and that is delusional. Dillain Whyte thinks he deserves, like, somehow that he is getting avoided by Deontay Wilder, and that somehow he's more deserving of a fight with Deontay Wilder than Tyson Fury is. Now, let me go into what he says specifically, and then I will go, let me quote him, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. Because Dillain Whyte's a funny dude to me. He had the chance to fight Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder gave him a very simple offer to get a fight with Deontay Wilder, and he said that he would do it next, but Dillain Whyte decided not to do it. So what Dillain Whyte says is, I'm happy that Tyson Fury is back. I'm glad that he got himself out of a bad place, but Tyson Fury talks a lot of smack, but he doesn't want any smoke. He doesn't want to fight. I can't see him fighting Wilder, but they agreed to a fight, and he'll pull out with an injury because he's not ready. Let me go. I've been trying to fight Wilder for 2 years, I think. I've been the number one challenger for about a year. I've had about 12 WBC sanctioned fights. I've had about 12 WBC title fights, but it is what it is. So he's had 12 WBC title fights. Okay. That, like I said, is the reason why you get promoters, so they can give you title fights. The title fights that he's talking about are the WBC International Silver Heavyweight title, the WBC International title, another WBC International title, the WBC Silver Heavyweight title, the WBC Silver Heavyweight title, and he had fought the killers like Lucas Brown, Robert Helenius, Malcolm Tan, David Allen, and he lost the WBC international title to Anthony Joshua, also Brian Minto. So he did all of that, and then what does Deontay Wilder say to the guy? I will fight you if you beat Luis Ortiz. If you fight Luis Ortiz and beat him, then I will fight you. And you don't have to worry about a mandatory title. You don't have to worry about your WBC silver title, your WBC international title, your WBC UK continental heavyweight title, your WBC romper room title. none of those titles that aren't titles. You don't have to jump through all those hoops. Okay? Fight Dillain Whyte. If you beat Dillain Whyte, I will use my voluntary title defense to fight you. Sounded like the problem was solved. Then the WBC orders him to fight Luis Ortiz. And what did Dillain Whyte do? Dillain Whyte decided to go and fight Kubrat Pulev. But when he fights Kubrat Pulev, Eddie Hearn doesn't have enough money to win the purse bid, apparently. And the fight was headed to Bulgaria. So what does Dillain Whyte and Eddie Hearn do? They decide not to take that IBF title, the IBF title eliminator fight, or that was ordered, a WBO IBF title eliminator fight, and go and fight Joseph Parker. And then try to have that Joseph Parker fight turned into a mandatory for the WBO. At the date of making this video, I'm not sure if it happened or if it hasn't happened. But for Dillain Whyte to act as if he is more deserving of a fight against Deontay Wilder than Tyson Fury is, it's just delusional. Tyson Fury is an undefeated fighter. Tyson Fury is the lineal heavyweight champion of the world. Tyson Fury has actually won major championship belts before. In total, he's won 3 of them. 3 of them and a secondary belt. Just if, you want the IBO. He's the WBA super heavyweight champion. He was the IBF heavyweight champion and the WBO heavyweight champion, and is widely recognized as the lineal heavyweight champion of the world to right now. So what issue Dillain Whyte could have with it, I don't know. But then just to sink and do the same old matchroom boxing nonsense that Eddie Hearn is doing, who else has done? I think Eddie Hearn's done it. I think Tony Bellew might have done it as well, where they just cast a doubt on whether the fight's going to happen at all. Why we would doubt that the fight was going to happen at all, I don't know. I do know why they would say they would doubt it. Because, Eddie Hearn, at least he would. Eddie Hearn made him all those promises, playing all these games, trying to get everybody locked up into fighting to Eddie Hearn's, circle of heavyweight champions, all fighting one another, but in a way where matchroom boxing gets paid for every fight. The same old thing that's been happening. Since Chick Hearn. I said Chick Hearn, not Chick Hearn. God, what is his name? Tex Rickard. I think I'm naming a baseball announcer or a basketball announcer, Chick Hearn. But Tex Rickard, back in the 30s. But at the end of the day, all it's going to wind up doing is continue to promote the fight between Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua in the UK. Because every time you talk about them positively or negatively, and more and more people know about the fight. At this point in time, the biggest fight in the heavyweight division for the rest of this year is Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. I don't know who Dillain Whyte is fighting next. Don't particularly care who. I do know who Dillain Whyte is fighting next. Dillain Whyte more than likely is going to be fighting Anthony Joshua April 13th in a fight that probably 5 or 6 more people will care about than cared about Alexander Povetkin versus Anthony Joshua. And maybe he could also, if Vladimir Klitschko comes out of retirement, he could fight Vladimir Klitschko. But if he had wanted to fight Dillain Whyte, if Dillain Whyte had wanted to fight Deontay Wilder, and he was serious about getting that fight, all he had to do was fight Luis Ortiz. That's all he had to do. Beat an old man that a guy who is scared of him knocked out. That doesn't seem like, if Dillain Whyte believes what he's saying, that doesn't seem like that's a very difficult proposition at all. You say that that Deontay Wilder is worried about Dillain Whyte, And so if he's worried about Dillain Whyte and he knocked out Ortiz, who's just an old man, right? That ran out of gas, then it shouldn't be any problem at all for Dillain Whyte to tell Deontay Wilder to put his money where his mouth is by knocking out or beating. He didn't even say he had to knock out Luis Ortiz, beating Luis Ortiz. And then Dillain Whyte would have had Deontay Wilder in a very bad position. He would have had him in the same position that Deontay Wilder has Anthony Joshua in. Whenever somebody talks about Anthony Joshua not wanting to fight with Deontay Wilder, not really wanting to fight Deontay Wilder, whenever anybody says that Deontay Wilder really didn't want to fight Anthony Joshua, and then it was Anthony Joshua was ducking out of that fight, all Deontay Wilder needs to do, or somebody that's representing the point of view of Anthony Joshua, say $50 million for the first fight. He asked for it. He made him an offer. He didn't accept the offer. So, no, you turned down $50 million for a fight. You didn't keep your word. That's exactly what Dillain Whyte could have done. Dillain Whyte would have beaten Luis Ortiz, and then Dillain Whyte said, look, Deontay Wilder said that if I beat Luis Ortiz, then he'd fight me right away. You be a man, keep your word, and fight me now. But Dillain Whyte said, no, thank you. I'm going to go do something else and stay as far away from Luis Ortiz as I can. Because you know what I mean? So anyway, it is what it is. Dillain Whyte is funny. The whole trying to hate on this and trying to act as if this fight between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury fight's not happening, including making crazy predictions about, I just think he'll pull out with an injury. You know, maybe if it happens, then hey man, it happens. But it is what it is, and I think all this stuff is funny. I'm really looking forward to this Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight. And I'm out. Peace.